Today I'm going to review and test this brush washer that I got at Harbor Freight, and it's great for doing tall things like my RV. So I went down to Harbor Freight and I picked up this brush, and I need it because my motorhome is just too tall. So you look up here, way up there above the canopy, I can't reach that unless I get on a ladder. And so I bought this so I could get up there and wash it and rinse it at the same time. Now this was about $20 and it's certainly not perfect, and let me explain a couple of issues with it. But let me say what you can and cannot do with it. So this, you can extend it quite tall. It's about 6.5 feet. All right, and then you can lock that down any place you want. That's a great feature. Another really good feature is that it has an on and off switch right here. All right, now let's talk about a couple of the downsides to this. Notice that the screw that goes into the garden hose is right here and there's no swivel on it. Well, that may not seem like a big deal, but let me show you what happens when you try to use it. All right, so now we've got this, and now what you're forced to do, because there's no swivel, is that you need to very carefully spin that sucker on like that. And I found that to be just awkward, but it does work. Now, the second thing is that up here at the head, when I'm spinning it, a lot of times this thing will just come unscrewed like this. And so that's happened to me several times just putting it on the hose. And so another thing is that this doesn't stay very well and has a tendency to flop. So you really need to crank that on tight, or else it doesn't work well in application. So that's probably good enough right there. All right, but you got it, those two, that's the only two issues that I really found with it, but that's how you mitigate it and deal with it. So I will go turn on the switch off, go turn on the hose. We can turn this on. All right, I'm gonna make that a little bit longer. Oh, I got that on tight. Okay, got that on pretty tight. That's about right. So as you can see, that's handy and that works. Let's do a little more. Pretty cool. You can even wash wheels with it. See that? That's what I was telling you about right there. Did you see how that came undone? That's what I was, a bad thing. And so I think if they would have put some sort of clip, anti-rotation clip, instead of just relying on the threads, that wouldn't happen as much. Now for flat surfaces, it hardly ever messes up, but when you're scrubbing down low, then I've seen it screw up before. So, another thing is that you may have a tendency to put this down on the ground. Don't do that, because what happens is that it'll just pick up all of the things that you just got off of it. And so try and set it vertically in the shop and not on the bristles if you can, or hang it from a hook up here. That'd be the best thing. So I paid $20 for it at Harbor Freight, and I believe that's the regular price, I'm not sure. But it's not too bad for what it does, but it is not perfect.